I've had kids come out smiling, just a pep in their step. Sometimes they come in, their heads down, they're embarrassed probably. It just depends. Kids have accidents. They come for all kinds of reasons. And when they're leaving out, they are just so confident and just happy. I've gotten hugs, just it builds the rapport with me as a family and community engagement. So I'm not just dealing with adults all the time. That helps me build relationship with the students. There's the lady from, the care closet, things like that. So that's how they come in. They come in knowing that they're going to get the help they need, and they leave out with a smile or just just pep.
Welcome to the Voices United in Education podcast. Each week, we showcase the teachers, administrators, and community members who go the extra mile to contribute to the success of every student in Escambia County. You'll meet the real people behind the titles and learn about the amazing resources to support every student's success. We all remember the fear and trepidation we felt when picking out our first day of school outfit. Was it in style, but also low-key? Did it say, here to learn, but also here to look cool? Now imagine that feeling every day, but instead of on trend, you worry if it's clean and if it fits. Clothing insecurity impacts a large number of Escambia County students, a dynamic that can distract them from learning and social development. One program at CA Weis Elementary School is helping kids dress confidently. It's called Care Closet. And my next guests are the Community Partnership School Director and the Family Community Engagement Coordinator at Children's Home Society. Today, they're going to share how Care Closet is leveling the playing field and instilling confidence in Pensacola kids. Dealing dignity, spinning plates, all in for kids, Lisa, Smith Coleman, and Janeisha Robinson. Thanks for being here, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, pleasure.
Well, Lisa, you're the Community Partnership School Director. So what kind of partnerships made Care Closet a possibility?
Originally, we were chosen by Leadership Pensacola for them to do a project at our school. And when they came to us, it started out as a food pantry. And as we got to talking and we had a child come in who needed to get ready for that morning, it snowballed into something else. So what happened was that Leadership Pensacola chose us. They ended up with this Escambia School District coming in and helping us build a door so that we could have the closet. Then we had Closets by Design. They jumped on board when they found out about it. And then just numerous other partners that they reached out to, other community members to help donate some of the clothing and the different products for it. So it was really a combination of all of these people in this community coming together to help our kids.
That's awesome. And Closets by Design, they make pretty fancy closets, right?
Yeah, they came in and they developed a design, and we had to tweak it a little bit each time once we figured out where the door was going. And so it ended up beautiful, but it's also a place for our kids to be able to come in and get ready and feel like an important part of the day. For them to walk in not feeling with the best of their confidence and to walk out with their head held high, knowing that they don't have to worry about how they look, how they smell, or anything like that when they go on to class. Because as we all know, 4th and 5th graders,
they don't smell great.
Not always, no. But these kids, they are amazing. They come in, and it was a desire they wanted. It was something they wanted. But for them to have to sit in our parent resource room where people could walk by and see them didn't allow them to have that dignity. So this closet with a vanity in there with all the hygiene products, all the hair products, the Barbasol for the combs to keep it clean, all of that's in there for them. They can come in, they can get ready in the morning and go on to class, and nobody has to know any different. So they get to walk in there with the dignity they deserve to have, just like the rest of us.
Wow. And I love that the community came together to make that happen. I think that's so special. And I didn't know the story about how the meeting was happening in there, and then a student came in to get ready, and you all pivoted, and you were like, you know what? This is what we're going to do.
And part of it still became a food pantry. So we partnered with Feeding the Gulf Coast. So we have a food pantry on the outside where we used to store clothes. Now that we have the closet, the clothes are stored in there where they can go in, get ready, and do all that. But it literally met two needs. So if they come in and they're late, they can get breakfast. So they have that now. That's just removing a barrier to them being able to get that educational
I love
piece.
that.
So, that's really what we're there for, is to remove those barriers.
And Janeisha, this position is full circle for you because you attended CA Weis in the 3rd grade, and now you're the family community engagement manager. And so you're the person who sees all the wins and the losses.
Yes, absolutely. And it's very full circle moment for me. It's actually just a big change from when I was there versus now. So I can imagine just being a kid and knowing that my school is like a second, home away from home. It's beautiful and I love to see it. So.
And what makes the needs of CA Weis Elementary unique compared to other elementary schools in Pensacola?
I feel like what makes it unique is that I literally said this to a student the other day, that it gives you a sense of a wraparound, like a hug almost. Like, I feel like CA Weis hugs their students with the things that we do. It's not just, making sure they have these nice, clean clothes, or how kids are. They're like, oh, we can go shopping. Oh, I spilled some milk. I can go get a pair of hands. It's not like that. It's more so like she said, the dignity about it. My pants they're holy. I know that I can go right down the hall from my class and get some clothes that will make me feel much more confident than I did when I first woke up this morning, So
I'm so glad that you made the distinction between how kids are in real life. This is why we have both of you here today, because you have both sides of what's going on with this program and with the needs that it's meeting. Parents listening to this do know that 4th and 5th graders, in addition to needing extensive amounts of deodorant, also have a distant relationship with the truth sometimes. Yes. And so that's so great that there's people there like you that can help kids understand the importance of the difference of what the need is. And okay, that's a want, that's not a need, and to help them through it. And I agree with you 100% about feeling like a hug. That's just such a perfect way to explain it, because CA Weis is so unique from other elementary schools in terms of the offerings and support that it gives the students.
Yes.
And the students themselves have unique needs. I think you were telling me off mic about the number of families experiencing homelessness at the school is high. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. And the way that we know that is that we kind of coordinate with the wellness coordinator there and the guidance counselor, I'm so sorry, and also the data specialist. So we're working with them. We know what families don't have the ability to wash their clothes or just things like that. And repeat that question again for me. I feel like I was going around.
No, that's okay. You were circling around it just perfectly. I was asking about how many families at CA Weis are experiencing homelessness, or if you can speak to kind of the dynamics of the needs that make that population different from, say, other populations in nearby elementary schools.
I can speak to that a little bit. A part of it is that last year we had over 200 families that were homeless.
200 families?
At one time.
Wait, and how many families total are represented at the elementary schools? Just so listeners can get a percentage.
We have about 500 children, but that doesn't mean that that's 500 families.
Right.
Because we have a lot of siblings that are there. But our area code that we serve, mainly the 05, is one of the highest in poverty. And so there's some demographics that, we have to meet, and we live in a transient community. So when they do, as they like to say, level up, they move out of the community. We're not getting that now. They're staying because they have the resources and they're staying and they're trying to better their community. So to be able to do that, they've got to get to that point of comfortability. So when you have so many families that are homeless, and the economy's bad for everybody right now. I mean, my grocery bill's doubled. So I can only imagine what it's like for having all these kids at home, because I used to have a bunch of kids and I can't even imagine trying to feed them now.
Yeah, 10 is your head count, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you are well qualified to speak about the impact of grocery bills.
But it's affected everybody. And so the fact that if we can take that burden off of the family where they can get their kids can get uniforms, or they can get some staples for food, then they can put that towards other things, and it can help level the playing field for them. Because, just like everybody else, they're all just trying to survive and do what's best for their kids and their family. But we do have a high rate of poverty and homelessness in our area.
You make an important distinction that you just kind of referred to. You said leveling up, and you prefer that description over the word charity.
Oh, it's not charity. Because one of the things that we teach our after-school kids is that you have to learn to give before you can receive. And so all of our kids, they like to do community service. They're doing something for the veterans for Christmas. They're like writing them cards and different things like that. Our kids are well aware that they have resources and that other kids don't. And so they want to be able to give back as well. And they understand that.
That's so interesting that you said that they have an awareness that they are plugged into resources that other kids aren't, because in addition to the things we were laughing about fourth and fifth graders, that's an important time in the developmental stage where you have more self-awareness, where you see yourself as you are in the world. So to be able to see both the disadvantages and the advantages and to act, I would imagine, is pretty empowering, right?
And it is. We're trying to enable them when they are able to go to middle school and to high schools to be able to advocate for themselves. And so they're able to do that in a very mature way that most kids, I wasn't able to do that at that age. We had somebody from one of the high schools come yesterday, and he sat in on a group that Miss Janeisha was doing. And he was like, they're so mature. And I'm like, this is how all of our kids are. We're trying to we're not trying to give them a step up. We're just trying to level that playing field so that they have all the same resources that any other child across the county has.
Absolutely. I wanted to speak on that part real quick because you mentioned the after school. So great example. I'm working with Student Leadership Council. These ladies are well aware of Community Partnership School because that's one of the requirements to be a Student Leadership Council is to know what it's about. And we were doing one-on-one coaching about public speaking. And then at the end, I had asked them questions. And one of the young ladies said, are we still doing our project? And they kind of scratched my head a little bit because I couldn't remember because there's so many projects I keep up with. But they were like, the Toys for Tots, like we want to make sure, we wanted to do the thing where we got old toys and clean them up and give them out to kids that probably don't get the Christmas toys and things like that. And I said, oh, okay, I remember you guys talking about it. But that's a great example of the love they're receiving from CA Weis is the same love that they're trying to give. So it's not like they're, oh, we're Weis, we have this, that, and we're, a step above the rest. It's just, this is our school. It's resourceful. They help us and we want to return the same. It's like we're leading by example and they are taking it and running with it. So.
Well, reciprocity is not something that kids learn automatically, regardless of wherever they are in their economic dynamics. They might be the spoiled brat, or they might be the person who, on the other end of the spectrum, takes advantage of people who are participating in charities.
Exactly.
But it sounds like the CA Weis kids are like truly a step ahead in their character because they are thinking about that reciprocity without being asked about it.
Yes. And they didn't mind cleaning up the toys.
Really?
They didn't say, oh, we're going to get a bunch of toys, round them up and give them out. They're like, we're going to clean them up too, just in case they're not, they're dirty. And I mean, they're like ready to put the work in to see another little kid smile. That is amazing.
That must make you so proud.
It does. I love it. What did I tell you yesterday?
So walk me through, Janeisha, how a kid interacts with Care Closet. Like, how does it work?
So usually when a student comes in there, most of them are well aware of how it works. They come in, they fill out a hub form, and they say that, my teacher sent me down here because I need a new shirt. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Give me just a minute. Let me see what I have. And they'll just wait for me. I'll ask them their size. If they know it, usually if they don't know it, I ask permission to check, and they're fine. I'll get their shirt or pants. They go right into the Care Closet, privacy, close the door, and they'll change. And they come out, they're smiling. I'm like, oh, I got a bag out here for your other clothes. They're like, okay. And I've had kids come out smiling, just a pep in their step. Sometimes they come in, their heads down. They're embarrassed probably. It just depends. Kids have accidents. They come for all kinds of reasons. And when they're leaving out, they are just so confident and just happy. I've gotten hugs, just it builds the rapport with me as a family and community engagement. So I'm not just dealing with adults all the time. That helps me build relationship with the students. There's a lady from, the Care Closet, things like that. So that's how they come in. They come in knowing that they're going to get the help they need and they leave out with a smile or just just pep.
So a teacher, is that the first step? The teacher refers them, and then that's kind of the first point of contact is through the teacher in the classroom?
It depends. I feel like the older students can come to their teacher with the need, and the teacher sends them. younger students, most of the time they're referred by the teacher. I'm so sorry, I'm getting caught up in there.
And you mentioned hair earlier.
Yes.
So sometimes kids, a lot of kids can't do their own hair, right? So how does that work?
Oh, that. So Lisa's like, hey, Janeisha, I got a student here that wants her hair done. And I remember my first time doing hair there. And again, it felt good, honestly, because I've never had that experience. I've worked in education before, and I'm pretty good with kids, but this, I feel like, takes it up a notch. It's like an aunt at the school that can do my hair,
Oh, I love that. I love that.
But it's not just the girls. I have a young man who has dreadlocks, and one day he came, I saw him, and he had them up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, I've never seen your face that much.
Yes.
And so now he comes in, and he's like, can you help me put my hair up? And his confidence is built up. He's smiling. We had one young lady, it took us a couple days to get her hair where it needed to be because it had gotten pretty bad.
Yes.
And then we brought her mom in and went through how to care for it. I had my daughter actually come in and work with her on how to do her hair, how to do her daughter's hair. And so it's kind of a full circle process is that, we don't all always, I'm the worst at doing hair. I paid people to do my kids' hair because it was terrible. Because as you can see, mine gets brushed and we're good. But to give that confidence to these kids is a page turner for me. It's like to be able to see them walking down the hall. Like one of them's like, I washed my hair. How does it look? Did I get it right?
Yes.
Oh.
And with the donations in the closet, we have like shampoos or just products they can put in their hair that are extra. So if we put something in their hair to help it lay or whatever, and we have it extra, we'll give them a bag and they can take it home and, try to practice themselves. It whatever the need is. And like you said, you mentioned a young fellow. I did a young fellow's hair too for the show at the Singer.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave him that confidence. Like he came in, I did like 2 of them. Yeah. That was really fun. No, seriously, because
I don't know, Janeisha. You look like you hate your job. I think you should really find different employment. I don't think it's going good.
You really affirm the kids. They get to look in the mirror and they're like, looking and just I love that part. It's I would say the hardest part of my job is just dealing
with me.
That part, but the rest of it, please get turned.
At least this is not just for kids, right? You have activities, services, and like resources for the families also?
Yes. We have a variety of resources. We have our GED program, which we're hoping to start in January, right?
This is the hard part of my job I was telling you about. So with the GED program, it starts February 6th.
Okay.
Classes will be held on Tuesday, Thursday. It's open to the community, and we'll be running it from 4:15 to 6:15.
But we also have other programs. We have employability classes. We have healthy eating classes.
Mm-hmm.
We have financial literacy classes that Penn Air has partnered with us to do. We are so blessed in the fact that these parents can come in. We provide childcare for them while they are able to attend these classes and get that leg up to be able to just, better their family and their lives. Because once they strengthen their family, they strengthen our community. And so that's the whole point behind it. So, it's not just the kids we're affecting. We're a community partnership school for a reason. Because we're here to help the community, not just our students. Because if we help our community, it helps our students. So it's full circle.
And you really, when you look from the outside in that it's a community partnership school, I remember the first time we did an episode about that on this show, and I didn't really get it. I didn't really understand. I was just unpacking some features of it. But once you see the full picture and meet some of the people, you really start to understand what you said, Lisa. Like when you make an impact, not just give something away, but you really give people the opportunity to become Auntie Janeisha.
Yes.
And people to, do something with their hair and learn how to do it themselves and feel good about what they're wearing, feel good that they can be focused at school without feeling self-conscious, because it is very distracting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even adults why do you think there's so many commercials with deodorant with people sniffing their armpit while they're on the dance floor? Like it's something that everyone relates to, but not everyone has to combine that feeling with education or the, obstacles of trying to learning while while having all those feelings. So you also said something, Lisa, off mic that I thought was a huge point, is that if you can change the trajectory of the kiddo, then you can change the next generation.
Absolutely.
But the reason that you have some of the family resources that you have now is because the parents of the kiddos didn't necessarily receive that opportunity. And so they may not know how to advocate for themselves. They might be self-conscious about asking questions in an IEP meeting or in a parent-teacher conference. And so you have aspects of service at CA Weis that help with that too, right?
Yeah, one of the things that we do, we have a one-team parent program. And what it is if a parent comes to an IEP or a 504 or any of the other, like even show up for a family night, they get points and they can redeem those for household resources or gift cards for their kids. We just did one right before Christmas, and these kids walked out with tons of stuff. But they also do it at the end of the year to kind of help them for summer. But the thing is that these resources, what they do is it opens up a door for our families to feel comfortable asking questions. We had a family that had a family crisis, and the first place she went was to us because she knew it was the parent did, because she knew it was a safe place. She knew it was a safe place where she could get resources without judgment, without any criticism, because at the end of the day, everybody needs help.
Mm-hmm.
None of us are exempt from that. At some point in our life, we're all going to need it. And to be able to provide that and to have someone feel safe about it, it makes me getting up every morning worth everything I do. Because these kids will walk away. I mean, I am not a touchy-feely person, but I get hugged more times than a little bit at this job every day by these kids and even by some parents. So it's like, it's worth it and I plan on being at graduation. I only have a few more years to the first set of kids that I worked with will be there. So we're excited.
Gosh. I'm so glad you brought up graduation because I don't know which of you is more equipped to answer this question, but I heard that Care Closet can have an impact on positive graduation rates. And, we had Mr. Leonard on the show talking about that's one of his goals is to increase the graduation rate for our county. Have you seen the numbers yet?
I haven't seen the numbers yet, but what I do know is that we had another family that had a crisis, and one of our previous students was in middle school. He reached out to us, and to know that he can do that, and he's continuing to stay in school. It didn't deter him from being in school. He's doing well in school, and now that we've got Bellevue Middle School on, and we've got Pine Forest on as the next community, other community partnerships, we have a pipeline to career success, college success. We're changing that pipeline. It doesn't end in prison. It ends with them being successful in whatever careers they choose, whether it's through technical school, whether it's through college, whatever it is that they decide to do. We're gonna help remove those barriers to get them to that success.
Wow, this is such an amazing program. I have goosebumps head to toe right now. What can a parent that's listening to this, how can they help? What can they do? Because we want to see a program like this stick around because as you pointed out, Lisa, you want to see those little ones get to graduation. Janeisha, you want to be like the first of the full circle, but not the last.
Yes.
You want to see kids come through and then they come back and they visit Auntie Janeisha.
Of course.
And y'all have this great memory and you laugh together about, remember that one time?
Yeah.
But not only that, but you're celebrating the success that they have achieved and the person that they have become. And without this program, there's a lot more obstacles to achieve that. So what can people do to help out, to support? Is there anything?
There are tons of things. There's always any kind donation as far as like deodorants, your school uniforms, especially at our school. The uniforms are scarce sometimes because we rely on donation to get them.
So you have to donate. You can donate money to get the
uniforms.
Donate
money. You can donate the shirts. We have a list. We also have an Amazon wish list with all of that on there. Somebody wanted to go on there. And the thing, I wanted to just touch on one thing you said, how do you get this to stick around? Well, the thing is we've made a 25-year commitment at each of our community partnership schools.
Wow.
We're not going anywhere. We are going to be here for the long haul.
Yeah.
And so it's just about how many people can you serve?
How many people can we serve? How many families can we reach? And they don't have to be students of CA Weis to get that service. We are here for the community at large.
Yeah.
So
I love that. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I just want to be able to continue what I'm doing. And to be able to do that, I need all the community support I can get.
Absolutely. And being fairly new to community partnership school and just learning so much in the past, 7 months, 8 months now? The only thing I have to add is that this is wonderful. I love to be a part of it. Volunteering has been a major key to help me sustain a lot of the programs that I run. So I'm very grateful for that. So if that's something that can help us keep going forward, you can volunteer anytime. Give me a call. I always got something going on. Do you have anything this week? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes.
Because we have one parent that comes in. I mean, she doesn't have the financial resources, but she has the time to be able to come in and volunteer with like our backpack buddies and things like that. And it makes a world of difference to be able to have someone help get that stuff out so that we can do additional services to other things. So, I mean, if they got time or resources, and I never turn down money. So, as we like to say, the only thing we turn down at CA Weis is our caller. So.
That's good. I like that. I'm going to put the Amazon wishlist link in the description and any other links that are helpful for support and volunteerism also.
Do you have the link to our newsletter?
I do have the link to our newsletter.
Yes, send me all of that.
We have a monthly newsletter that goes out and tells about all the things that we're doing at the school and all the events that are coming up. So if anybody would like to volunteer.
Who does the newsletter?
That would be Miss Janeisha Robinson.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I love you too. Thank you all so much. This was amazing and fun as I expected it to be.
So
I appreciate you doing the work that you're doing.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and share. Voices United in Education is a production of Escambia County Public Schools.